If you're here, it's because you genuinely care about someone or you want to learn to care better. And that already says a lot about you. Because the truth is, most men have never learned how to make a plus-size woman feel genuinely desired. They repeat ready-made phrases, automatic compliments, gestures that seem right but don't touch what really matters. And the result is always the same. She smiles, she thanks you, but deep down she still feels like she isn't truly being seen. Today I'm going to show you what really makes the difference, so stay until the end because what I'm about to tell you can completely transform the way she feels by your side. First thing you need to understand is that plus-size women most of the time already carry a history of comparison. They grew up hearing, directly or indirectly, that they needed to be smaller, more discreet, more adjusted to a standard that was never meant for them. That's why, when you show desire for her, being polite or kind isn't enough. You need to be specific. Generic words don't convince someone who has doubted herself her whole life. Saying you're beautiful is nice, but saying I love the way your body moves when you laugh has a completely different impact. Proves you're actually paying attention to her, not just saying what you imagine she wants to hear. The second point, and maybe the most important of all, is eye contact. Many men, without realizing it, avoid holding a steady gaze during moments of intimacy or compliments, especially when dealing with someone else's insecurity. But that avoidance is felt instantly. When you speak to her while looking into her eyes, without rushing, without looking away, you're communicating something no words can replace, that you have nothing to hide and that she doesn't need to hide either. A steady gaze conveys presence, and presence is what builds real desire, far more than any isolated compliment. Another key point is conscious touch. I'm not talking about sexual touch, I'm talking about present touch. Touching her face while you speak, hugging firmly instead of quickly and routinely, holding her hand with intention. All of this communicates desire in a way that goes straight to the nervous system. Plus-size women have often been touched hastily or awkwardly by partners who seemed ashamed of their own desire. When you touch calmly, firmly, without rushing to end the gesture, you're saying without words that her body isn't something to be tolerated but something you genuinely want to be close to. Now, there's a mistake many men make that completely destroys the feeling of being desired, complimenting only in private and never in public. This might seem small, but for her it carries enormous weight. When you show pride in her in front of other people, holding her hand naturally, looking at her with admiration in front of friends, you're dismantling little by little any insecurity built up over a lifetime. But when a man only shows affection in secret, even unintentionally, he feeds exactly the fear she's trying hardest to overcome, the fear of being merely tolerated rather than truly desired. It's also essential to understand that real desire isn't only in physical compliments, but in how you value her presence in your life. Asking her opinion before making decisions, genuinely valuing what she thinks, showing that you want her company not only in intimate moments but in everyday life. All of this builds a deep sense of being desired as a whole person, not just as a body. Women who feel desired completely, not just physically, develop a confidence that few things can shake. Another factor that makes all the difference is body language during intimacy. Many men, without noticing, have hesitant gestures when touching larger bodies, as if afraid of doing it wrong or showing desire too intensely. But hesitation is felt, and it hurts more than words ever could. True desire shows through confidence in touch, intensity in an embrace, the way you approach without doubt. When you move with assurance, she senses on an unconscious level that she's truly desired, not just accepted out of obligation or affection. Finally, perhaps the most powerful point of all is consistency. It's not one isolated compliment, a single gesture, one special night. What truly makes a plus-size woman feel deeply desired is the constant repetition of small gestures of appreciation over time. It's the admiring look that repeats, the present touch that continues, the public pride that never fades. When these behaviors become a natural part of the relationship, rather than isolated moments, that's when insecurity truly begins to dissolve, and desire transforms into something deep, stable, and unbreakable. If you apply this sincerely, without performance, only with truth in what you feel, you'll notice a real change in how she carries herself, expresses herself, and opens up. 'Cause deep down, every woman wants the same thing: to be seen, to be felt, to be desired completely. And once you understand that, you don't need magic formulas, you just need presence, attention, and truth.